know what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's your boy Maas Apeal. It's Tuesday. I hope everybody had a good weekend and got the week off to a great start. We got 6 more weeks
Lab
of winter
Addicts Music
weather.
Group.
Damn. But before we go any further, we got to give thanks to the Most High for allowing us to see another day, another sunrise, another sunset, another day, another chance to love on the people who we cherish. It has been crazy in this news cycle the last 7 days. It's been really crazy with the Epstein files coming out, with everyone that is in those documents who are, I can't say they're being castigated, but people are talking about the names. Former President Clinton and his wife have agreed to a deposition involving a deposition about their interactions with Jeff Epstein. So it's a whole lot of crazy stuff going on. And I saw a video this weekend of Ann Coulter talking about civil rights. Bud Files, how you doing? Ann Coulter, the ultra conservative talking head. I have never heard her say anything remotely good. Well, I can't say that. I've just never heard her say anything that is beneficial to Black people. But she put a video out. She was on a panel, and I guess they were talking about her book that's coming out. And she made a statement that civil rights are for black people. They're not for immigrants. They're not for people looking for abortions. They're not for people who want to live alternative lives. She said that civil rights are supposed to be exclusively for black people in America. It's not for immigrants. It's not for all the fringe groups who contend that their plight is as hard as the plight was for black people in America. So tonight we're going to talk about it. And we always got to frame these type of conversations. I am not blaming any group. I'm not blaming Latinos. I'm not blaming Africans. I'm not blaming Hondurans. I'm not blaming Russians. I'm not blaming any group of people. I just wanted to say that clearly, because I know how conversations like this usually get framed. So yeah, tonight is not about pointing fingers at them, they, whoever. It's not about outrage. It's not about getting mad. And it's not about gatekeeping the culture. Tonight, I am asking questions that I don't even have the answers. I mean, that's I'm not saying too much saying that, but yeah, I want to create a dialogue with you all because I want to also have a better understanding of this. It's about asking a harder, more uncomfortable question. How did something deeply specific become universally marketed? And who are the people, the groups that profited from this shift? Because the Black experience didn't just go mainstream. It didn't just spread. It didn't just magically become relatable to everyone, all nationalities at the same time. It was translated, repackaged, co-opted, and sometimes sold. We can look at Juneteenth as the last example of culture trying to be sold. Didn't even want us to have Juneteenth, but now Juneteenth was for everybody. I was seeing Juneteenth advertisement with white people in it. Juneteenth had went mainstream. But before I go any further into this conversation, I want to define what we're talking about. Because once definitions get loose, accountability disappears. The Black experience is not a vibe. It's not slang. It's not your playlist. It's not a costume people can put on when it's convenient and, take it off when it's not convenient. the Black experience is historical, it's about economics, it's culture, and it's also psychological. And the most important aspect of that is the Black experience was not a brand. You could look at so many things where Black culture, the Black experience, has become brands for people that don't look like you and I. The Black experience was formed under certain conditions, conditions of exclusion, conditions of restriction, and conditions of survival. Culture didn't come first. Adapting did. Adapting to the environment, the surroundings that we lived in. Humor, it didn't come first. The coping mechanisms of dealing with what was going on. But you can always look hindsight and see humor in things that you went through. These things weren't created for consumption. These were things that, you talked about amongst family members. What's up, Jude? What's up, YWG? These experiences were created through through the experiences that people had lived. And that matters. Because when you forget why something is the way that it is, you start treating it like it's ownerless. Here's a hard truth. Culture moved faster than capital. Black people generated influence long before we were allowed to generate ownership. We produced visibility without leverage, recognition without control, and impact without equity. And when this access finally cracked open, but ownership didn't, a vacuum formed, and that vacuum has never stayed empty. So somewhere between civil rights legislation and corporate inclusion campaigns, something shifted. The Black experience stopped being treated as a lived reality and started being treated as a raw material. These things weren't stolen overnight. They weren't taken by force. They were absorbed. They were reframed and universalized. Last thing I can think of that was taken and reframed, that was taken, absorbed, reframed, and universalized was woke. Woke does not mean what it meant when the term was first started, when the term first started being used by black people. And once something becomes universal, it's very easy to forget who paid the price for creating it. There is a difference between appreciation and co-option. Appreciation requires context, it requires credit, and it requires consequence. Co-option removes all of those. What is left is something that looks familiar, sounds familiar, feels familiar, but no longer belongs to the people who shaped it. Hip hop. Here's how this process works in plain English. Black innovation gains attention. The context gets stripped away. The language gets softened. The edges get sanded down. It's rebranded as relatable. Then it's rebranded as universal. White ladies started wearing wife beaters last year. Then it was the new fad to wear wife beaters. We've been wearing wife beaters for years. But because a white lady wore it and it was comfortable, and then they start selling $80 wife beaters. And suddenly the origin doesn't matter anymore. Just the engagement. The profits move, the power stays put, and the originators remain symbolic, not structural. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable. At some point, pain became content. Pain became content. And we saw that reflected last week, 2 weeks, a week and a half ago, in the argument between Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. Everybody was trying to profit off it. I mean, I put a video out about it. But pain becomes content. Struggle becomes something people market. Trauma becomes something you could monetize. We see this on YouTube all day long. It seems that the YouTube pages where people are crashing out on a daily basis are the pages that get mass consumed. And that's not by chance, that's planned. Identity becomes something you could perform. And eventually, everyone speaks the language without paying the cost of learning it the hard way. That's not solidarity. That's extraction with better PR. When I was doing my little studies, my little research on this, I came across a lot of stuff. Also, let me be clear about something else, because this matters also. This process did not require hatred. It did not require conspiracy. It didn't even require bad intentions. It required opportunity, platforms, and silence. And that's how systems work. If you want to understand who benefits, you don't look at the villains. You look at the money. You look at the incentives. You look at the paper trail, the money trail. And the incentives rewarded translation without ownership. Shared struggle is not the same as shared history. I'll say that again. Shared struggle is not the same as shared history. Oppression is not interchangeable. Experience, living off of experience, is not interchangeable. Lineage is not interchangeable. And being united, being solidified, having a solid foundation, solidarity does not require identity replacement. Solidarity does not require identity replacement. When labels get stretched so wide that they lose specificity, the people who carried the original burden become invisible inside their own story. And there's a cost to that. There's a real cost to that to Black people. Loss of narrative control, diluted meaning, performative allyship, economic displacement, and lastly, cultural exhaustion. Because when everyone claims your experience, no one feels responsible for protecting the people. This conversation is not about exclusion or inclusion. It's about ownership, context, and respect. If something came from us, if it was forged under our conditions, through our history, at our expense, then we should benefit from it. We should benefit from it. Not just symbolically, not just verbally, not when it's convenient, but materially, structurally, and consistently. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Who co-opted the Black experience, and how did we let it happen? How did this happen? Let's look at the word woke. When the word woke first started being used, what was its meaning? We got the crew in here tonight. Jug, Scorp Mama, Camille, YWG, Blood Files. Everybody's in here tonight. Shouts out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Shouts out to everybody tuning in on Instagram. Shouts out to everybody watching on Rumble. And shouts out most definitely to the MA family and everybody tuning in right here on YouTube. When the word woke was introduced into the lexicon, it meant that a person, a black person, was not asleep to the things that were going on around them that were anti-black. That's what the word woke meant. I don't know where the change, I guess the change with woke came when people started picking Black Lives Matter apart. I'm sorry. It's something's going. It's a conversation going on in the chat, and yeah. But the word woke, the entire meaning of that word was manipulated, was changed, and was made into something far removed from the original meaning of it, and was made to look bad if you said you were woke. How did that happen? How did we allow a word that had a positive meaning be turned into something that was the antithesis of the original definition of the word and ran with it? I guess you could say some black people did that with the word nigger. Well, nigger. And then cut the AR off, put an A on it. Like the man in Louisville said, nigga. I didn't say nigger. I said nigga. Who co-opted the black experience? And how did we allow it to happen? I'm asking y'all. Because the black struggle is historical. When I say historical, I'm talking about slavery, and that's if you came here on a boat or if you was already here. There's no distinction between that. Jim Crow, which were laws specifically aimed at black people to stop any advancement, any good living, any goodwill. There were 2 sets of water fountains. Black people had to go around to the back of the building to use the bathroom. And if we had to do number 2, sometimes it was a bucket. I know this because I've heard these stories. Then segregation. I don't think that can be co-opted. I don't think that experience can be for mass consumption. The economic struggle, labor extraction, housing denial, capital barriers to ownership. These are things that Black people exclusively went through. Then you have cultural, music. There's countless Black musicians from the past who made songs that were great songs, but they didn't get acclaim until a white person sung them. Language. How many slang words created by Black people are now mass consumption and even included in the dictionary? These are slang words that started out as words that were said in the neighborhood. Now they're mass consumed and in the dictionary. Fashion, style, the vibe. It's all been co-opted. Breakdancing, hip hop. My man, the real Terrence Horton, the first Black elected official of Dayton, Kentucky, is in the house. Y'all need to go check out. Y'all need to check out Terrence Horton on Facebook. He's got a podcast that he does every day at 12 noon. Y'all need to go check him out. See the things that he is doing in a city that was once a sundown town. Go check out Terrence Horton. Yeah, 6'7" start. I mean, even though people are saying it's bad, but 6'7" started out as some word in hip hop that people were saying. Now you look at any basketball game, and it's weird because you see all these videos where they have little kids in the crowd, and a team will have 65, and somebody's shooting free throws, and they hit 2 free throws, and everybody in the crowd is doing this crazy dance. There's numerous words, dances, isms, ways, cultural things that have been culturally appropriated and capitalized on. Humor. The way that Black comedians talk. Everybody talks like that now. I remember there was a time where white people didn't curse in their comedy. No cursing at all. And not that cursing is a good thing. But you look at the way that black comedians have performed through the years, that whole comedian style has been taken. And then the psychological aspect of it. Code switching. Resilience. Making something out of nothing. And when I say resilience, you can go back to slavery. The slaves made feasts out of scraps. The slaves made feasts out of innards. The innards of pigs. Now, I don't eat this stuff. But we have been resilient. Survival instincts. Harriet Tubman. Jackie Robinson. There's countless people that I can talk about who use resilience and survival tactics to make it when the odds were 1,000% against them. These things were contextual, not symbolic. I'm not talking symbology. I'm talking context. We've heard the stories. I've heard stories from my grandparents. I have actually gone through different things. But I've talked long enough. 38 minutes into the show. I'm going to play this video of Ann Coulter. And I want you all, when I watched this video 10 times because I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of Ann Coulter's mouth. If you haven't seen this video, it's going to send you for a doozy. I can honestly say that. If you know the context of Ann Coulter. But here we go. And I'm going to cut in at sometimes, and just so that, I don't get flagged for just playing the video, but listen to this.
You made kind of a provocative comment in your new book here, Mugged, and I think it's on page 151. You write that various groups, feminists, gay rights groups, and those who are defending immigrants have commandeered the black civil rights experience.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that because I think it's one of the most important points of the book. I mean, I think what...
Hold on, I apologize. I need to change the mic, so I'm going to change the mic, and I'm going to... So I know that you all can't really hear it unless I change the microphone. So microphone's changed. Here y'all go.
You made kind of a provocative comment in your new book here, Mugged, and I think it's on page 151. You write that various groups, feminists, gay rights groups, and those who are defending immigrants have commandeered the black civil rights experience.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that because I think it's one of the most important points of the book. I mean, I think the way liberals have treated blacks like children, and many of their policies have been harmful to blacks, at least they got the beneficiary group right. We do have to, I mean, we shouldn't. There is the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. We don't owe the homeless. We don't owe feminists. We don't owe women who are desirous of having abortions, but that's, or gays who want to get married to one another. That's what civil rights has become for much of the left. They dropped the blacks after 5 minutes.
Immigrant rights are not civil rights.
I want to stop right there. Have all of these fringe groups co-opted civil rights? Because all of these groups profess that their plight is in the same context as slavery, racism, Jim Crow, and segregation. I have always said that fringe groups are fringe groups. They chose to be whatever way they are. Black people didn't choose. We were born this way. And a lot of people say they were born that way, but no, that plight is not the same. This is an ultra conservative white lady who was saying this. I'm gonna let her continue.
Rights?
No, I think civil rights are for blacks.
See, this is essentially the problem, and the Republicans
What did,
don't,
wait,
don't
can I just
understand.
say, what have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country.
But you see, most of us are either immigrants or are the descendants of immigrants, and we understand that not everybody. There are Native Americans there, but we understand in this country. We understand in this country that kind of self-deportation, making things so difficult for immigrants, for undocumented immigrants, that they have to leave, or the DREAM Act, vetoing, threatening to veto the DREAM Act, which is what Romney has said. I mean, and again, we have Governor Romney, who is basically taking a position that is anti a large and the fastest growing segment of the electorate.
And here's the thing, if Republicans don't do something with immigration, and if Republicans are so far away from Latinos, they're going to lose not only this election, they might lose the White House for generations.
The future.
And Texas to turn
That's why the
from red to
Democrats
blue.
are dropping the blacks and moving on to the
They're not
Hispanics
dropping the
because they're a
blacks.
larger group of Hispanics now. But could I just say to
true.
Jorge, I hate to disagree with you when you're attacking President Obama, but I think the point on immigration is you can have open borders or you can have a welfare state. You cannot have both.
Being a pro doesn't start under the lights.
A welfare state, or you can have open borders, but you can't have both. Now, after hearing what Ann Coulter said in that video, on that panel, are civil rights for black people? Or are they for everyone? That's the first tough question tonight. Are civil rights for black people or for everyone? Ann Coulter says they're for black people. Are civil rights for? I'm asking you all. Who are civil rights for? Are they for black people or are they for fringe groups? Because fringe groups are benefiting more from civil rights than black people are. Are civil rights for black people? Terrence Horton said the Democrats dropped the blacks. Did they drop the blacks, or were they ever for the blacks? Because as hard as it is, as hard as it is at this point to like the Republican Party passed every single rights act that's ever been passed, was passed by the Republicans. The Civil Rights Bill was passed by Republicans. Yeah, you can say what you want to say. I'm an independent. I have never in my life voted in a primary. I have been an independent voter since I turned 18. Yeah, you can look, if you don't believe me, you can look it up. Every civil rights act was passed by Republicans. YWG said, he said as well, Democrats dropped the ball with black people. So if the Democrats drop the ball with black people, and the Republican Party is kind of hard to swallow, pause. Terrence Horton, who is a card-carrying Republican, says the Republican Party was started to end slavery. The Republican Party has been hijacked by racists. Yes. Yes. The Republican Party has been hijacked by racists. And that's why, even though a lot of black people don't want to say it, even though in the past the Republican Party was the party for black people, how black people, black Democrats were so disenchanted with the Democratic Party that they left the Democratic Party and went to the Republican Party with no concessions. And the black politicians, the black Republican politicians who are on the more moderate side, I can say that they're trying to change the outlook of the Republican Party and trying to get black people to go back and look at the historical aspects of the Republican Party. But it's kind of hard. That's why I'm glad I got a buddy like Terrence Horton, that if I have questions, I can always just go hit him up and ask him, how do I look at this from my independent frame of mind? When did the co-opting begin? Jesse and Al, I was never fans of neither one of those dudes. It was just something about them that, I mean, I don't have nothing against them, but even when I was young, I just, yeah, I really didn't. Jesse and Al dropped the ball. It's hijacked by stupid asses. Terrence Horton. Up until the civil rights movement, the Democrats were so racist and against civil rights that they switched. You're right. You are absolutely right. You were right. And those people who left were called Dixiecrats. Dixiecrats. Those were Southern politicians lots of Dixiecrats left and went to the Republicans. I think this, Terrence, when would you say that the Republican Party, which was once the party of black people, when would you say that the change started when the Dixiecrats left the Democratic Party and then joined the Republican Party? Would you say that is when the Republican Party started to change? Sir said Jesse was the one who pushed us from blacks to African American, which created a pathway for a guy like Obama who was tethered to our struggle. Did Obama co-opt black culture? I know some people are gonna get mad about that question, but did Obama co-opt black culture? Like, he's black. Court mama said facts. The co-opting start. I think that the change in the Republican Party started with the Dixiecrats. When those Dixiecrats, which were Southern Democrats, left the Democratic Party to go to the Republican Party, I think that that's when the Republican Party stopped being the party for black people. Juggernaut said they kept changing the identity and name of our true heritage. There's Hortz. During the civil rights movement, some say it was when MLK Sr., a Republican who was looking for help to get him out of. You know, we was Martin Luther King a Republican? When did black people start following the Democratic Party? Because the Democratic Party has never done anything for black people. What type of propaganda was used to hoodwink black people? Because I'll say this, and I always say this, and I'm going to continue to say it. Black people are conservative. I don't know I didn't grow up in a liberal household, I grew up in a very conservative, strict household. Where did liberalism come into the picture? Sir Horton said Martin Luther King was a registered Republican. MLK was a registered Republican. Then I said social services and government assistance started. Hold on, we got to go. We're not going to gloss over this. We got to go back to Terrence Horton's statement. And my question, Terrence Horton said, Jesse was the one who pushed us from blacks to African American, which gave the path for a guy like Obama to become president who was tethered to our struggle. And I'm asking you all, did Obama co-opt black struggle? Go back, but yeah, let's. Like button, quit playing with me. Hit the like button. Man, I'm talking real topics. I ain't up here yassle bossing and buck dancing. I'm up here talking about real stuff that's beneficial for everybody, not just black people. But like I said in the beginning, trauma and dysfunction is what sells on YouTube. We can't have real dialogue because real dialogue, only a few people gonna tune in. But I'm going to change that. Yeah, it's got to be a cultural shift. Like Kanye said, traumatize, monetize. Traumatize, monetize. Mama said Obama opened the doors for tethers. Terrence Horton, Obama had an African daddy, not a black daddy. These are the foundations of why a dude like Elon Musk can say he's an African American. What's good, TMI? This is the foundation of why Elon Musk can say he's an African American, and he is. He's from South Africa. Nobody wants to say if Obama cosplaying. I gotta laugh. Was Obama cosplaying, y'all? What Tara said is facts. Obama had an African daddy. He didn't have a black daddy. So Tara said Obama was raised by a white man, not a black man. but he was sold as a black man. Obama is African American, but he ain't black. Terrence, you about to make Terrence, you about to nah, I can't say Terrence is gonna piss nobody off because of meaning. Terrence, stating facts. Is Obama the same type of African American that Elon Musk is? Wow. Well, y'all, I'm asking some real deep questions. Because we're talking about the struggle, the black experience being co-opted. Our lived trauma, generational, people are co-opting. Did Obama co-opt the black struggle? I'm asking some deep questions. Obama cosplayed black people for 8 years. No, I'm probably asking some questions that are probably going to get negative responses once I make these clips. These are real questions that we need to look at. Obama are the same. Squirt Mama said they trying to hide a red dot. There's one said Obama was blackface. Jug said Obama was a Hollywood script with a Weinstein ending. Squirt Mama said he's the same as Harris. It's an Obama artist. So I'm gonna ask these questions. I know some AKAs gonna be mad at me. Is Harris cosplaying a black woman? Is Harris really Rachel Dolezal? Was Vice President Harris really Rachel Dolezal? Terrence said he knew Obama wasn't black when he tried to sing Al Green. Dang. I'm asking these questions. Did President Obama and Vice President Harris co-opt the black experience and then have it sold to us? Did Obama cosplay for 8 years? Is Vice President Harris cosplaying now? I'm always going to ask the uncomfortable questions. Squirt Mama said Obama had a fake pimp walk. Wow. Hey, Squirt Mama. Well, I'm asking questions that are probably going to come across as unpopular. But there's no way around it. Are Harris. I'm a manufactured black people sold to black people as black. Sarah Horton, she is worse because Harris has 0 black in her. Her Jamaican dad, mom is Indian. She's an Indian Jamaican. Her dad doesn't even claim to be from African descent. Are these people cosplaying black people and being sold to us as having gone through the same black experience as us? That's the only thing that's the only thing I'm asking. That's the only thing I'm asking tonight is were Obama and Harris cosplaying black people and then sold to us as the same as the same as black Americans? Or is this the case of Kendrick Lamar, who's the record holder for winning the most rap Grammys? Are they really not like us? Talking about tonight give a whole different meaning of the song. They not like us. They not like us. Juggernaut said we are natives of this land and rightfully own it. Said Egypt is here. There are a lot of people who say that. Yeah, Egypt is here. Yeah, I mean, we can say, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen nobody in my family put collard greens in the bathtub. Yeah. That's not a black thing. I don't know. Yeah, we don't, no. We don't wash greens in the bathtub. I don't know where they came. I don't know where that came from. I don't know who told her to do that. But no. Don't wash greens in a bathtub. What do you all say? I'm asking this question, and I mean, Terrence Horton, he's answered the. Does the Democratic Party find cosplayers and then sell them to black people as having gone through the same experience, the same black experience as us. I'm asking. My people on Facebook, what do you all have to say? I know some people from my family, probably namely my mom. I don't want soap scum on my greens. Soap scum, some of y'all leave that black ring around the tub. Got to put some SOS on it, bad boy. And I don't want my greens in the bathtub. Soap scum. You can't boil the bathtub. So nah, we're not putting any greens in the bathtub. I'm asking you all serious questions. I'm so serious. I'm not being funny. Harris and Obama, are they cosplayers? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm gonna continue to ask the questions and talk the topics that nobody wants to talk about. This week's panel will be Thursday. This week's panel will be Thursday. My conversations tend to be ahead of the curve. I talked about cannibalism 2 weeks ago, and now it comes up in these Epstein files. Going to be some people, but I'm asking real questions. If I'm asking something that is, man, please tell me, but I'm asking a serious question. Are Harris and Obama cosplayers? Do they truly have the same shared black experience as we do? This conversation went in a total different direction. I wasn't looking at it from this frame, but we have to look at it from this frame. YWG said this soap scum ring adds extra flavor to the green. Oh, yeah. Shouts out to Councilman Terrence Horton for coming through tonight, dropping jewels like he usually does. We will be hosting the second Business Cards and Bourbon / podcasters networking event. Third first one was a success. We're asking all the content creators in the Cincinnati metropolitan area, Northern Kentucky, to join us the third Thursday. Terrence, man, we're gonna have to have you on the Terrence. We're gonna have to have you on the panel Thursday. I need to get you on the panel. But yeah, we're asking all business owners, all entrepreneurs, all podcasters, all content creators to join us the third Thursday of the month at Horton's Social Corner, located on 130 West 6th Street, Covington, Kentucky. Come join us. February 19th, Horton Social Corner, We're asking all the content creators, podcasters, business owners, entrepreneurs to come out and join us for a great night of networking. I know the people that were there last time, they said they're coming back this month and they want to create content. So if you're looking to create some content, to get some content for your page, come join us for the networking event. I had the networking event going live last time. I'll be doing the same thing on February 19th. Come join us if you're in Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area. Come join us. Once it gets warm, we got big things planned. We got big things planned. Not really gonna put stuff out there. I can say this: we will be giving away a gift card for got the name of bourbon. Terrace, what's the name of the bourbon that we have and I also have 3 cigars that I'm going to add to give away. One of them is a Rocky Patel cigar, and if you know anything about Rocky Patel, you know how much those cigars cost. So we're going to be giving away 9 o'clock Thursday night, Terrace. This Thursday. Yeah, we're going to do another panel. Wenzel. We're giving away a Wenzel Distillery bourbon tasting gift certificate and 3 cigars at the next podcasters, content creators / bourbon and business cards network. Don't drink liquor, support mama, and Terrace does not drink liquor as well. But yes, we will be you have to be present at the networking event to win the gift certificate. Wenzel bourbon is very good. And if you like cigars, Rocky Patel is Rocky Patel Cigar Guide is great. So we have some giveaways planned for the networking event. Come out and join us February 19th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 2 hours of networking, socializing, having a good time, making connections with people that you can do business with. Come join us. What we were talking about. Black experience being co-op. Sometimes I feel like we get co-opted people thrown at us. Get thrown at us to go at our psychological, emotional heartstrings. One thing people know is that Black people are emotional. Yeah, no, you can come to business in bourbon. We will have we're gonna have cocktails, but we will also have mocktails. So if you don't drink, we're going to have mocktails, which are non-alcoholic cocktails for you to enjoy as well. Being that everyone does not drink. And yeah. Everyone does not drink. It's not a requirement that you, it is, it is BYOB. I will have some liquor I will have a bottle of bourbon. But you are more than welcome to bring your bottles of bourbon. If you don't drink bourbon and you drink wine, you're more than welcome to drink wine. I had some wine last time. I had some and bourbon. That's what I brought last time. I'm not sure what I'm going to bring this time, but yes, you're more than welcome to not have drinks. We'll have mocktails and cocktails. But our civil rights for Black people and have we been given cosplayers who have been given a co-opted script to follow to endear themselves to us and our personal Black experience? Have we been hoodwinked all the way around? Have we been hoodwinked all around? Have we as Black people been giving manufactured Black people and told, oh, this person went through the same Black experience that we did, and that not be true? We're an hour and 22 minutes into the show. Hit the like button, share this video out, subscribe to the page. We talk about real stuff over here. And you can join the wild conversations that are going on in the chat, as well as, there's 2 or 3 different conversations going on in the chat. There's the chat that's about the topics we're talking about, and then there's some other sidebar chats that are going on. Yeah. I'm always going to ask the questions that nobody else will. I'm a contrarian that way. And I'm independent, so I can talk crazy about Democrats. I can talk crazy about Republicans. I'm an independent. There is one Republican that I like, and that's Terrence Horton. I like Massey too. I think it's something about Northern Kentucky Republicans. They're different. Trump talking about he was going to find a candidate to go up against Massey. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we're having a good conversation tonight. I showed you all the video of Ann Coulter, ultra conservative Republican Ann Coulter, saying that civil rights are for Black people. They're not for immigrants. They're not for fringe groups. They're not for feminists. They're not for people trying to get abortions. They're not for gay people trying to get married. Civil rights are for Black people. We have all these civil rights for Black people, and the only people that benefit are not Black people. You can't make this stuff. Civil rights are for the struggle that black people went through in America. I already talked about it. Slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, and what goes on now. We do not get any benefits, but other groups, people who come here that don't have no shared experience to us, are the people who benefit from these programs. There's a reason why Pakistani, Middle Eastern, African stores are in black neighborhoods and black people don't have stores. Yeah, I hate going in them stores. I hate going in them stores. Don't get me wrong. I spend my money there going, but I hate going in them stores and they have some cute black girl in there working behind the counter. Hey, women won't look at a black man. But all these people that's cosplaying want black women. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't play with me. I ain't the only one that goes in them stores and see that cute black girl with the big bubble booty back there working with 3 Pakistani dudes. I'm not the only one. Yeah. I know what the neighborhood looked like in the 70s because my uncle had a store. I worked in a family-owned grocery store. My uncle had a corner store. Sliced bologna. I know what real ground beef looks like. Yeah. And then the Pakistani man came in and gave my uncle an offer he couldn't refuse and bought the store. Then he bought up all the stores. There's a reason that these people can come into our communities and open stores. When's the last time you went to a black neighborhood and there was a black store? And I'm not talking about the candy lady who sells candy out her front room. You don't see black stores in black neighborhoods. You most definitely ain't gonna go to no white neighborhood and see a black corner store. You're not gonna go to a Jewish community. You're not gonna go to a African community. You're not gonna go to any of these communities unless it's and see a store. Nobody owns what we buy but us. You go into a hood clothing store, it's this Middle Eastern guy. Hey man, I got it. I got it in. I got it off the truck. There are no black stores. This is purpose. This is purposeful. There's a reason that they didn't want you to see a person ownership. Block that I grew up on, my grandmother lived on, all the stores on that street were black owned at one time. Early 80s, all that changed. Late 70s, early 80s, all those mom and pops, yeah, all that's gone. Black restaurants, black owned, everything. It's all gone. Only one black owned gas station in Cincinnati. It's owned by the homie. Yeah. J-Rod. He's the only black person in Cincinnati who owns a gas station. I don't know a black person in Louisville, Kentucky that owns a gas station. There's a reason they don't want you to see black people with ownership. Cosplaying us run our neighborhoods. People cosplaying us take the money that we sell in their stores and take them to their neighborhoods. A lot of this stuff is self-inflicted. Most of it, not. It's purposeful. It's easy for me to talk about these types of topics. My minor in college was African American history. So these are topics that are close to me. My undergrad degree is in social research. So for 2 years, I just watched people and had to write papers on this stuff. So talking about this stuff is nothing. This is applied science. I'm just creating hypothesis for us to talk about, for you to research. Thankful to my professors, Dr. Ferrante. Dr. Washington. My teachers there were in the African American History Department at the University of Louisville. My professors at Clark Atlanta University. I'm ingratiated to them for the thirst of knowledge that they put in. They were the people that said, sometimes you got to ask tough questions to get the answers that you need. So my tough questions tonight were, are civil rights for black people? Are Vice President Harris and former President Obama cosplayers who have co-opted the black experience and had it sold to us as they are us? Or is this a case of Kendrick Lamar's song? They not like us. Two more minutes, Juggernaut. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Exactly what you said. They didn't want us to see us as owners and business people. But I saw it. I saw it in my lifetime. And I saw what happened when those other establishments came into the neighborhood. The whole neighborhood changed. I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them Middle Eastern dudes that had them stores, they had that sack too. In a place like where I grew up, you know what that sack is. I'm gonna holler at you, YWG, and Juggernaut. I will get with you all. Yeah. They had that sack. Changes in the neighborhood changed when those black-owned establishments were taken over by immigrants. All them immigrants weren't on the up and up. Some of those immigrants were selling drugs in the neighborhood. But a lot of people looked the other way. A lot of people looked the other way. Cosplayers took over. It's your boy Maas Apeal. This was another engaging topic. Who co-opted the Black experience? And how did we?
Lab Addicts Music Group.
I don't know, but it happened. I hope I said something tonight that motivates you to do your own research. We talk about real topics over here. Ain't no bug dancing, ain't no Google eyes. We ain't doing none of that. We are not getting paid off of Trump. We talk about it. We don't engage in that foolishness on this channel. This is no conversation with Maas. I'll see y'all Thursday. Got a good panel plan. Everybody have a great night.
Lab Addicts Music Group.